I want to show you how to install Active Directory Domain Services in Windows Server 2025. First, you go to the Windows icon here, click it, double-click Server Manager. This will start the Server Manager. You want to change the name of the computer here. You click it, you click the existing name, you click Change. The name, you can give it any name you like. I want to give it will still remain in the work group. Please note that. Click OK, restart the computer. Okay, you want to restart now? You can restart later. Now, next thing is to set static IP address. Click this, double-click this, click Properties. Go to Internet Protocol version, TCP/IP4. Highlight it, then you click OK. You input your IP address here, subnet mask, and default gateway. I have input IP address, subnet mask, default gateway. Click OK. Click Close. Then you restart your computer for it to take effect. You click Windows side power, restart. You use unplanned. Continue. I haven't restarted my computer. Now the server manager is ready. On the server manager, go to local server. In order to see what we have done in changing the static IP and the name of here we now have instead of the existing name, then we have a static IP instead of the dynamic IP. Now, I want to install Active Directory Domain Services. Go to the dashboard here. You click Dashboard, click Next, select Restart Destination Server Automatically Required. You click Install. This will install the Active Directory Domain Services. The installation is still working. Now, the feature installation has succeeded. Click Close. You can see now that the Active Directory Domain Service and the file and storage services are now green. I want to promote the installation to Domain Controller. Now you go to this amber icon, click it. You will see promote this server to a domain controller. Click that. So far we are adding the new forest. Select add a new forest. Use your domain name. For an organization, the domain name will be provided. But here I'm using the server. Click next. Input strong password. Click next. The NetBIOS domain name is this server. You know we used this server.local. So you click next, click install. The server was successfully configured as a domain controller. Click close. This will restart the server manager. Yeah, just like that, we have created a domain and forest in Windows Server 2025. This will apply the computer settings. Applying computer settings may take some time, so you need to be patient and let it complete. Now that the computer has now restarted, it will now be the server/administrator. So you put in the password of your Windows 2025 to log in. So the server manager will have to restart. You will notice here that we now have local server and all server installed and they are now green. We have successfully installed the Active Directory Domain Services and we successfully promoted it to Domain Controller. Now, let's go to Tools here. What we want to do in this case is creating and managing organizational units. Go to Tools, go to Active Directory Users and Computers. This will launch Active Directory for you. Expand this, you'll see all the different containers. To create organizational units, you right-click on the domain name, you click New, then you go to Organizational Units. The organizational units we want to create is accounting. If you want to protect container from accidental deletion, you ensure this one is checked. If you don't check it, your container can be deleted accidentally. So it's advisable that you check that and you click OK. You have created an accounting organizational unit. Let's create one more. You right-click on Domain Controller, then you click New, then you click Organizational Unit. Let's say Human Resources. That's the organizational unit we want to create in this case. Then you ensure protect container from accidental deletion is so that it cannot be accidentally deleted. If you don't check it, it can be accidentally deleted. Let me now do another organizational unit. Let's make it security. Then I will uncheck this so that you'll be able to see. Click OK. So the issue of accidental deletion, which I referred to, if you look at this, you will know that we did not check prevention of accidental deletion. If I delete, I can easily delete. But for human resources, it cannot be easily deleted. So that's the benefit of checking prevention of accidental deletion. Let's do it again and check accidental deletion so that it cannot be deleted. So security unit, I'll protect from accidental deletion by checking protect container from accidental deletion. See, click OK. Let's do it again. Let me try to accidentally delete. You can see that you do not have sufficient privilege to delete security. or this object is protected from accidental deletion. That's the benefit of checking prevention from accidental deletion. We can also create some organizational units. Click on the organizational unit you create. I'm just using that as an example as a sub-organizational unit. That will stand under security organizational unit. Let's do sub-organizational unit for human resources. Let's use legal unit as a sub-organizational unit for human resources. You can see that it comes right under human resources. Let's now create a sub-organizational unit for accounting. So you right-click on accounting, you click organizational unit, let's make it payroll. So you protect from accidental deletion we have always done. This structure makes it easier to apply policies and manage permissions. Now, want to add users to the domain to create users. Let's look at different ways by which we can create users and add them to various organizational units. First, let me use the domain name. Right-click the domain name, then users. So let me put name. The name of person you are enrolling in the Active Directory, you put the name. Let's use it this way. Orlan Jude, that's the name. If you select this, if the user wants to log on, having received the credentials, that is the password you are going to set here, when the user wants to log on, he must change the password. If you select this, user cannot change password when they want to log on. That is, the password you gave them is the only password they will be using. Then if you select this, the password you are going to give them will never expire. If you select this, that shows you have disabled the account you are creating. Since password is personal to individual within the organization and you are sending the password to an individual, you select user must change password at next logon. So you can put password of your choice, you confirm the password, click finish. So you have created a user under the domain. Now, here you can select user here, right click on it, click new, create user. Orlan James. I want to create Orlan James. You put the logon name, Orlan James. Click next. You put in the password. This is the password you send to the user, and on receiving the password, when they try to log in, they will use this password. And the next log, they will be the first to change the password. If you select user must change password at next logon, click next, click finish. Now, we can begin to add users to these different organizational units. Let's do that right away. So I will look at one of the users I have created. You can create the user under each organizational unit. So you put new user Orlan K. Okay, put Orlan, the last name is K. That's the logon name. Click next. Select user must change password at next logon so that the password will be private to the user. Put password, click next, finish. You have created a user. You can move the user to gateman if it's a gateman. So you can only find the user under gateman, not under security, but by hierarchy, it will still belong to the security team because it's a gateman under security team. So that's how to create users. How to create groups. So right click on the domain, you click new. That's a method of creating group. Let me say choir. That's the name of the group. So I'll make it a security group. We'll explain that later. Now, that's a group. You can make group under security as well. And you can send them directly to gateman group. Or if you don't want to send, you can see now that Orlan K and night group are under gateman. You can put night group under security. So you have Orlan K is under gateman and is in security of TCL. Installation has been completed. Open it, then you right click on this PC, click properties, then you scroll down and go to advanced system settings. Click that. Under computer name, you click change. Here you have an existing name for your computer. You can change the name to compute 1. The system is still on workgroup. We have a server, Windows Server 2025, which we have installed earlier. It's here. And we have the domain name here, the server.local. We want to add this machine to the server. Click domain. Recall that when we were installing this machine, we said we are going to use it for an organization. So check domain. If you leave it here, it can't join the organization server. So you click domain. When you are naming your computer, you don't put any space in between the computer name. So computer 1. Put your domain name, which you have on the server. When you are installing for an organization, you'll be given the domain and you put it here. Then you click OK. You see, an Active Directory domain controller for the domain server could not be contacted. Ensure that the domain name is typed correctly. We have typed this correctly, but it seems that this Windows machine is on dynamic IP. We have to set the IP to static. You go to the network here, network internet access, click it, click network and internet settings. You go down here, you click change adapter option. Yes, now double click this as well. Click properties. Go to internet protocol version 4 TCP IP 4. Click that, click properties. If you are working for an organization, they will give you the IP address range. Then you select one for this machine. If you click this, you get the subnet mask automatically, which corresponds to this IP address. The default gateway is the default gateway of the network, which I want to set the machine to. Then preferred DNS is IP address of my Windows Server 2025, which I want to join the machine to. Click OK. Click close. You can close all this. So you click this now. Promote to domain now. You can see that it's now working. The administrator of the Windows Server will be given to you. As Windows Server engineer, you will be member of the administrator. Then you can input your username as the administrator. But here I'll put administrator, then password. That password is the password of the Windows Server administrator that is installing the machine. Click OK. It will promote this machine to the domain. Welcome to the server. This is the Windows Server machine. So you have to restart your computer to apply these changes. Click OK. Close. Restart now, so as to apply the changes. The machine is restarting. Now that the machine has restarted, you press Ctrl+Alt+Delete. From here, you put in the administrator password. You have a Windows machine which has been joined to the domain, that is the Windows Server 2025. Let's check this by opening the File Explorer. Click on Properties. You can see now that the device name has been changed to Computer 1. Then you scroll down, click Advanced System Setting, go to Computer Name tab, click Change. You'll see that the Windows machine is now a member of the domain. If we have succeeded in adding this computer to the domain, we change the name of the computer to Computer 1. The full device name will now be Computer 1 at this server local, because we added it to the server, which is the Windows Server 2025 here. So now, to add the computer properly to the server, go to Active Directory, then go to Computers. So you can add computers by selecting Computers here, New Computers. Then you put the computer you want to have, Computer 1, click OK. The computer has been added. Now let's look at some things about the computer. Double click on this computer. You can see that the computer is only a member of the domain, the server.local. But you need to add it to security group. We have a security group here called Night. So for it to be useful for people who are in the security group Night, you need to double click on you need to look at the computer's container. You double click on the computer. You click on members of, add, then you put the name of the security group. You click check names. If it's correct, you see it underlined. Click OK. So if you want to add it to another security group within the organization, you can click add. If it is the administrator group, you can just set as admin, check names. You see the administrator, click OK. Then you can add the same computer to another group. Let's see, protected user group. So I'm just using this for example. So the same computer can now be used by these different groups. So it has been member of all these different groups. So they can access it in those organizational units where the group belongs. So click apply, click OK. So that's how to add computers and how to assign it to different groups and automatically assigned under organizational unit. So when joining the workstation to domain, ensure the computer object is moved to the correct organizational unit. So the computer object should be moved to the correct organizational unit. So the organizational unit is security, where we have the security group 9. Then this security group may be member of another protected user. You can click OK and so on and so forth. We have come to the end of this section. So far, we have been able to set up a new domain and forest. We have installed Active Direct Domain Services role. We promoted it to domain controller. We created and managed organizational units. We added user groups and computers to the domain. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's know your opinion in the comment section. Watch out for more videos on Active Directory administration. Thank you.